going on, everyone? Welcome back to Tully Television. Bart here, and today we're going to be getting into Obi Wan episodes 1 and 2 in this review video here. And then, as the weekly episodes come on, I'll do the individual reviews of each episode then. But being episodes 1 and 2 were released together this past Memorial Day weekend, I'm going to review them together in a general cohesive video, or I'm going to at least attempt to. Before we get into it, I want to thank everyone for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing, doing all of that beautiful YouTube stuff. If you want to check out some of our merch, check out the bonfire link down below. Got a few shirts made over the time that we've had this channel going. No pressures. Anything that you buy goes back to the channel itself for, equipment and what have you. If you have any editing needs, I'll leave my editor's Facebook link down below, Smokey Bishop. He's the genius behind all of the great intros and outros and all that wonderful stuff. As far as the editing part of Tully Television is concerned, great guy. Your time and money will be well spent on that man. Ewan McGregor as obviously Obi Wan Kenobi. We're going to get into the cast. Vivian Lyra Blair as Little Leia Organa. That's not her character name. Little Leia, coming out the streets, Little Leia. Rupert Friend as the Grand Inquisitor. Moses Ingram as Inquisitor Reva. Sung Kang as the Fifth Brother. Kamali Nanjiani. Unfortunately, I did not write his character's name down, so I am unaware of the character's name that he plays. But he's, in real life, I believe he's Indian, or of Indian descent, that character. He was also in the Eternals, if that helps remember who he is. I forget, and I'm sorry, young man, I know you work hard at your craft to not be forgotten by name, but by next episode I'll have it. Hayden Christensen as Vader. Jimmy Spitz at the World, as opposed to Jimmy Eats World. Okay, I know. Jimmy Smits as Senator Bail Organa. Flea was in the first couple episodes as Velt Nakru. The writers for both episode 1 and 2 are Joe B. Harold, Hassan Amani, and Stuart Beadle, and the director was Deborah Chow for the first 2 episodes. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing the rest of the series or not, but basically this is 10 years after Order 66. Obi-Wan is living a life of destitute, trying to keep an eye over Luke on Lars's farm. He tries to leave little trinkets and toys on the farm for Luke to find, and Owen happens to find him in the village and kind of tells him to stay away. We don't really want him going down the path that you led his father down. And Ben is like, Owen is saying that Luke is never going to leave the farm, and Obi-Wan wants him to go out and live a life as a Jedi, and they're both right in a way. Luke should be deciding when it's time, when he gets to be an adult. If he wants to go to Tashi Station for power converters, he should be able to. I digress. Owen is giving Obi-Wan problems about leaving little trinkets and toys for Luke to find. And Also, at this time, we see the Grand Inquisitor. The Grand Inquisitor is trying to find their last remaining Jedi that were left over from Order 66. And that leads to them finding a Jedi on Tatooine, and that man winds up escaping initially, finds Obi-Wan Kenobi, asking for help, and Obi-Wan is at the lowest point of his life. He's working kind of at like a meat packing or something plant. He's living in a cave, buying things from Jawas. He is a man of a shell of the man he formerly was. He has said that they are defeated. There's no more reason to fight. And we see that same Jedi looking for help later hung in the town square as a sign as to not be hiding these Jedi. Let us know where they're at. Another running theme throughout the show's first 2 episodes, is that Inquisitor Reva has a real hot button for Obi-Wan Kenobi for some reason, even before them showing up here and her going rogue. They have yet to show any relationship between them for her to feel the way she's feeling. So right now, the running theory that we were discussing here is that because she feels so low on the totem pole, that if she was to get Obi-Wan Kenobi and be the one presenting him to Vader, that she would prove herself to be the top Inquisitor, so to speak, as opposed to being the one found in the gutter and stuff like that. The white spaceman aliens keeping everyone down, the woman's down. She's a strong, independent woman, and you're keeping her down. Let's see. We also find little Leia, coming out of the space conveyor. What am I doing? You find Leia being a typical young girl, not wanting to be not doing all these protocols of being a princess, of going to places and waving and stuff. She seems to like to explore the woods and stuff like that, and climb trees and all that fun stuff that typical kids just want to have the freedom to do. She has this little insect-looking robot that kind of helps her get information and stuff like that, and later helps her get untied from somewhere that I'll get into. And we see Jimmy Smits back as Bail Organa. He's trying to teach her lessons throughout the first episode. She knows that she's not an Organa because a cousin that's a few years older of her tries to make her feel bad for doing that, and she kind of puts him in his place. The actress that plays Leia, she's a cute little thing, and cute little kid, and she certainly has some sassiness behind her. And another thing that we were discussing as far as the Phantom Menace and the kid that played Anakin Skywalker, he was very much like an emotional plank, like an emotionless plank throughout the movie. George Lucas isn't really one for drawing the emotion out as a director, so if you don't have any real natural acting chops, especially as a child, you're going to kind of come off as a piece of wood. And I'm glad that this Leia character, played by this young actress, isn't like that. She seems kind of like a young natural already. She seems very at ease in front of the camera. she's definitely going to be one of the focuses on the show because by the end of episode 1, she's kidnapped. Um, Reva made that plan come into motion because somehow, some way, she found in the articles of some old articles that they had some sort of small connection, and because of that small connection, which we knew was a larger connection, but because in the paperwork it's such a small connection, she thought that that would draw Obi Wan Kenobi out, and he eventually did. But to be so bold as to expect that to happen just because of a little bit of interactions with them on paperwork seems to be like a reckless plan. And that's how they kind of present her a little bit as being reckless in this series, Reva. And they're not really giving her any real type of motivation on why she is the way she is. And it's on top of the stuff that's going on with her and with the actress in real life, Moses Ingram, stating that, and Disney stating that if you don't like this character, you're a racist. And that's a horrible thing to have to hear as a Star Wars fan, that just because I don't like a character, I'm a racist. And no, it's not, because I find that Reva she's not a well-written character. Lando Calrissian, I love. Childish Gambino, when he played Lando, a younger Lando, I love. You had Forrest Whitaker. You had Donnie Yen. You had Samuel Jackson. You had multiple black men and women of John Boyega. I felt should have been the focus of the sequels. He should have been the Jedi, not Rey. And so are there fans out there that like Star Wars and that they are also racist? Yes. But that community is so small, to label the whole community of Star Wars fans as racist is dumb and hurtful by Disney and by Star Wars, that they're putting that out there. Um, the great majority of us are not racist. We're just saying that Reva is not a well-written character, and there's no depth or complexity to her. Um, to me, that's what the problem is. And then when you want to add this real-life stuff in, that's where you lose me on this show. I'm going to still be reviewing this show for the next month until it's done, but it kind of sucked the life out of me, all this stuff behind the scenes, and then seeing how the character is being portrayed. It kind of breaks canon a little bit too, because how is Leia not remembering that Ben Kenobi saved her? And then there is an explanation on that by a channel called Screen Crush that does a good explanation that her and Ben never really interacted in the New Hope for her to be like, yes, I remember you. And then when Luke said he was there because of old Ben Kenobi, she did recognize the name, obviously, of want to look for him. So it kind of is skirting, it's kind of beating around the bush a little bit of it not being bad continuity, but I still think there's going to be some sort of mind wipe at the end of this series for her, because the first thing she references in Obi-Wan is that he worked with the father. That can mean you're being kidnapped at 10, and you tell me 8 years later you're not going to remember the man that saved you from being kidnapped. So Reva sets all this up, and then when they're on this, when Obi-Wan finally rescues Leia, at one point there's this rooftop chase and fight, and she falls off, and he's able to save her with the Force, and he's able to escape with her because Reva then was stopped by the Grand Inquisitor, He's telling her that she's pushing things too far. He needs to be in charge, and she winds up killing him. Uh, we also learn, well, we already knew this. Obi Wan also learns in this episode that Darth Vader is still alive, and the last scene is of Hayden Christensen, aka Big Daddy Vader, in a bantha tank, scars all over, trying to heal, and then it just ends there. This show has already had me aggravated because of a couple little things with the continuity things I mentioned, and then the stuff behind the camera. So it really sucks the joy out of want to see this Obi-Wan Kenobi show, even with Ewan McGregor back, aka Space Jesus. Ewan McGregor obviously is a top-notch tier actor and is going to be the meat and potatoes of this show as far as why it's positive and good. The actress who plays Leia, I like a lot as a child actress. She's very charismatic as a little kid. Good look to her. Good raw talent. You can see that if she sticks with this acting, that by the time she hits 20, 25, 30, she's going to be a seasoned vet. And hopefully she has a good support system around her, because this is going to bring her a lot of attention and a lot of different parts down the road, being Leia. And I hope she has a good support system for her in place, because we all see what happens to these young men and women who are into the acting business, music business, so forth. If they don't have a good support system, if they have parents that are just treating them like checks, then we see breakdowns happen like Lindsay Lohan, Britney Spears, these other actors and actresses, singers and entertainers that went down a bad road. So I hope, for her sake, she has a good circle around her, because you have people like Soleil Moonfry who did, good friends, good people, and she never went down that road because she was made aware you don't need to deal with that. You know what I mean? You don't need to be treated as an adult when you're a child. Yes, we're giving you a taste of adult responsibilities, but you're getting a paycheck in return, a nice paycheck. But as far as anything else is concerned, nothing else, like, I'm getting whatever. So between the first two episodes, I'm going to give this series so far a 7.5 out of 10. And the reason why so low is because, again, some of the issues I talked about. And if Ewan McGregor wasn't in this, I would have probably scored this more a 6 or a 7. Ewan McGregor is really going to be the one holding this show together. And I hope it gets better. I hope the writing gets better. But I don't have any faith with what's going on and how they're approaching this show, that will happen. Because they're just going to, Disney and Star Wars is just going to rely on them saying you're a racist if you don't like this character, if you don't like this show. And that's already drawing the enjoyment out from me. I will still continue to review it. Let me know what some of your likes or dislikes are of the show down below. And until next time, peace, Nickums. Peace.
Don't worry, you're not going to die. Lord Vader will be pleased. You didn't know? He's alive, Obi Wan. Anakin Skywalker is alive.
Her sister!
Are you okay?
Anakin.